Doncaster Rovers are your leaders over in League 2 after an impressive 4 wins out of a possible 5. But will they still be there at the end of this weekend's action? We're going to take a little look. All of it next. That's right, folks, back once again in another video. Today we're taking a look at match number 6 already over at League 2 with Doncaster, Notts County and Barrow in the automatic spots, with Gillingham, Bradford, Walsall and Wimbledon not too far away. Of course, spicy stuff over in League 2, but what's going to happen in this weekend's action? We're going to take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, if you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for League 2 is right here under one rooski. Going down right now, it's Morecambe and Stanley. A bit of a northwest flavour to that relegation spots, but I'm sure that will change in a minute. Or I want to say a minute after the end of these games, of course. Big shout out again to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get into it. Right then, folks. Now we are going to jump into the next round of games in just one second. We have a quick look back at last weekend's results. My predictions are not on the score. On the screen here because I'm just out and about. It's just a bit of a disaster when I'm out and about. It's quite hard to keep track of everything because I've got too many moving parts. So I will eventually bring everything back up to date, including your picks. Prediction League is still going on. We'll just carry on. I'll give an updated look at that when we come back again next weekend, where I'm back in my comfort of my home. But these were the results. Barrow with a draw against a couple of postponements. Fleetwood, Salford, Tranmere, Wimbledon. Didn't happen. Barrow, though, picked up a draw against Swindon. Chaos over there with outfielders coming in between the sticks. Bradford back to winning ways with a 2-1 win over Carlisle. Cheltenham with a monster win over Harrogate Town. Colchester, Bromley with a draw. Crewe with a big win over Morecambe. Doncaster with that big win over Gillingham at the top of the table. Chesterfield also took 2 past Grimsby. MK Dons back to win it, or continue to win under the new regime there. Port Vale with a big 4-1 away win. Darren Moore's boys cooking, and Notts County with a 2-0 win over Stanley. This is the table as you see it right now. Doncaster up there with 12 points. Notts County unbeaten so far this season, right on their heels, with Barrow impressing us as well. Gillingham, Bradford, Walsall, and then Wimbledon in the playoffs. And then, of course, a big bunch of teams. It's very early days, but serious concerns for Morecambe. 5 defeats on the spin for Derek Adams. Boys, again, the prediction is open. Keep going, keep at it. We'll bring you back up to date next week with what you've missed in the previous couple of weeks. But these are the next round of games, and again, we're coming at you in a bit of a basic formation here because everything's all over the place. So, without further ado, let's crack on with this weekend's action. All right then, folks, at the top of the screen, we're going to head over to Harrogate Town. We're going to go to the Exercise Stadium, that's right, as Harrogate will entertain Doncaster, coming at you on Thursday night, Thursday the 12th of September. No rest for the wicked over there. Harrogate managed by Simon Weaver up against Doncaster and Grant McCann. They have played 5 times since 2021. 3 wins for Harrogate, 1 win for Doncaster. It's been 1 draw between the two sides. Harrogate, though, 3 defeats on the spin. They've come crashing back down to earth, haven't they? 20 points for the 20 for the season, 4 points for the campaign. Doncaster, though, sit top of the table with 3 wins on the bloody bounce. That's right. Last time around, though, at this very stadium, it was a 3-1 win for Harrogate, who have done unbeaten against Doncaster over the last 4. And unbeaten in the last 4 competitive games, picking up 3 wins and 1 draw. Doncaster, though, with that 1-0 win over Gillingham, monster result that is. Harrogate now back-to-back games without a goal. Goodness gracious me. But the bookies here, 7-2 is your Harrogate, 5-4 on is your Doncaster, 27-10 is the draw. We're going to go with a Doncaster win, surely. 2-1 win on the road. Big win for them as they start to climb the table, or extend the lead at the top of the table. Oh, yeah. Over to Wimbledon, down to Cherry Record Stadium as Johnny Jackson's boys take on Milton Keynes Dons. It's the rivalry. It's the tastiest rivalry in League 2. Oh, goodness gracious. A lot of aggro in this one. We're expecting 15 times they've played since 2012. Wimbledon are on the receiving end, though, losing 3 of them. MK Dons picking up 9 wins. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. But coming into this game, Wimbledon are ahead of the Dons, sitting in 7th with 9 points so far against MK Dons, who are in 14th with 6 points for the season. 2 wins the last 3, though, for MK Dons, compared to Wimbledon's 4 wins on the back. bounce in all competitions and all venues. And the last time they played at the Cherry Record Stadium, it was a 1-0 win. In fact, Wimbledon are unbeaten against MK Dons over the last 2 occasions at this very venue. They come into on the back of that 1-0 win over Fleetwood back on the 31st of August. MK Dons with that 1-0 win over Walsall most recently to give themselves a second successive home win in the campaign. But the bookies for this one, they're going to find it tight. 13-10 is your Wimbledon, 7-4 is your MK Dons, 13-5 is the draw. I think I might be sitting on the fence with this one. 2-2, lots of goals in it, lots of drama, but no winner in this one. All right, let's head on over to Swindon Town now, shall we? As they take on Newport County, coming at you over at Swindon. 14th of September, the venue. Mark Kennedy, the coach for Swindon Town. It's there on the screen just about. Up against Newport County and Nelson Jardin. They are actually sitting in 8th, the Welshies, right now, with 9 points for the season, but back-to-back defeats for them. Up against Swindon, not to get going really under Mark Kennedy. 21st in the table, 3 points for the campaign. Now, these two sides have played 16 times since 2014. 8 wins for Swindon, 7 wins for Newport County. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. Most recently, though, at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Swindon, who got back-to-back wins over Newport County at this very venue and back-to-back clean sheets. They come into this, though, on the back of that good point on the road to Barrow. Newport County with a big 4-1 loss to Port Vale. The bookies will find this one tight to call, I think. 2017 on is your Swindon. They are favoured, I think, 14-5. The away win, 14-5, is also the draw here. I'm back in a 0-0 draw again. Hard to call with Swindon right now, not going under Kennedy and Jardin's boys. Just don't know what you're going to get at the end of the day. Up to the northwest now as Accrington Stanley try to get going up against Crewe in a bit of a northwest crunch clash with John Doolan in the dugout for Stanley against Lee Bell's Crewe Alexandra. They played 19 times since 2009. 9 wins for Accrington, 7 wins for Crewe, 3 draws as well. Stanley, though, yet to get going, 23rd in the table, just 2 points for the campaign against Crewe, starting to get back into tip-top shape. 13 for the table, 7 points for the season, and 3 wins at the last 4. Last time around at the Wham Stadium, it was a 0-0 draw back in April 2024. It's been actually back-to-back draws between these two sides, and Stanley have actually just lost once in the last 6 between these two oppositions in all venues and all grounds. Of course, Stanley, though, on the back of that 2-0 loss to Notts County most recently. Crewe on the back of that 1-0 win over Morecambe. But the bookies will probably swing in favour of Crewe here. 31-20 is your Stanley's, 5-2 is the draw, 8-5 is your away win. We are gonna, I don't know which way, I think we're swinging. Oh, we're going for Stanley here, boys. A bit of a shocker-rooney. Stanley getting their first win against a bit of a northwest rival in Crewe. Bromley next, of course, taking on Notts County over at Hayes Lane Stadium. That is right, Bromley under Andy Woodman. Currently in 11th in the table with 7 points for the season. Against the Notts County side, sits second under Stuart Maynard. Has he got it right? Can they last the distance? They got 11 points so far for the season, and they're coming into this on 67% form for them right now, winning 3 on the bounce. Bromley, though, just what we're looking at here, back-to-back games without a loss, 42% form for them as well. And this match has been a common 1-1 draw with 3 of the last 4 between these two sides ending as draws. Bromley are unbeaten against Notts County over the last 6, picking up a couple of wins in 4 draws over the course of those 6 matches. Bromley on the back of a draw as well, 1-1 against Colchester most recently. Notts County with a big 2-0 win over Accrington Stanley. It's another tight one to call here. Bromley, you're looking at 13-8 for the victory, 6-4 is your Notts County, 5-2 is the draw here. I am again playing a little bit cautious, going to go with a 1-1 draw with 3 of my first 5 pickaroonies right down the middle. Let's head back up to the northwest here with Carlisle taking on Fleetwood Town. Bit of a crunch clash this one. Mark Birch at the helm for Carlisle up against Charlie Adams, Fleetwood Town. They played 9 times, these two sides, since 2013. 3 wins for Carlisle, 4 for Fleetwood, 2 draws as well. Carlisle struggling right now, just 3 points for the season, 22nd in the table against Fleetwood, who have come and crashed back down to earth under Charlie Adams. Back-to-back defeats, 50% form for them at the moment. They played 9 times, these two sides, since 2013. 3 for Carlisle, 4 for Fleetwood, and there's been 2 draws between the two sides. Those 2 draws were the last 2 matches that these two sides have played against each other, and they were both in League One. Of course, last time around at Carlisle, 1-1 way back in August 2023. It was match number 1 of last season. Carlisle on the back of that 2-1 loss to Bradford. Fleetwood back in action. They were against Villa in the Football League Trophy. They did lose that game, and their last victory Most probably the opening game of the season, 1-0 against Grimsby in the league anyway. So bookies are going to swing for Carlisle 6-5 for the victory, 21-10 is your Fleetwood, 5-2 is the draw. Carlisle should have the tools in the locker to get a result here, but I'm going with Fleetwood. Backing our Charlie Adams Fleetwood, not too sure what I was thinking about that one. Let's head on now down south, that's right. How south can you go? We're going down to Gillingham, of course, in Kent with Bradley Dax. Gillingham up against Tranmere Rovers. That's right. 17 times they have played since the year 2000. 6 wins for the Gills, 7 wins for Tranmere, 4 draws between the two sides. Mark Bonner's Gillingham, back-to-back defeats for them, 42% form for them at the moment. They are sitting 4th in the table. Up against the Tranmere side, 58% form for them right now, sitting in 10th, with just 2 points separating the two sides heading into this match. Most recently, at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw, but the Waste side hasn't won this game since Gillingham beat Tranmere in Tranmere back in December 2013. Gillingham on the back of that 1-0 loss to Doncaster. Tranmere with a 2-1 win over Carlisle most recently. And when I say most recently, it was back on the 31st of August. The odds for this one, the Gills are even. Stevens, Tranmere are 27-10. The draw is at 12-5. We're going to go with the Gills, I think, on this. 3-1 win. Hopefully Dak back to his very, very best. And maybe even has he started a game? I know he's featured a couple of times, but has he started a game? Well, we'll see about that. Shortly. Let's go to Morecambe. Back up to the northwest at the Mazumba Stadium. That's right, Morecambe up against Colchester, who have played 12 times since 2016. 4 wins for Morecambe, 2 for Colchester, 6 draws, of course. Both sides, not great start, but Morecambe have got a very, very big mountain to climb. They are rock bottom, yet to get a draw, yet to get a win. Have they even scored a goal yet? I don't even know. Struggling to find the back of the net in the league. Yes, I don't even know if they actually got a goal. No goals in the league thus far for Morecambe. Bloody hell. They've only scored 1 goal all season. That was against Wickham. Actually, a couple of goals against Wickham. Wigan in the Football League Trophy. Adams coming on 17% form for them. Just 1 win in the last 6. That was in that Football League Trophy. Up against Colchester and the Cowleys. 50% form for them right now. Starting, it just seems to be rinse and repeat for Colchester, despite whoever's in the helm. But Colchester cannot get going. 50% form for them without a win in the last 4. The last time that these two sides played at the Mazumba Park or Mazumba Stadium, it was a 1-0 win for Colchester back in January 2024. Most recently, Morecambe did lose to Crewe. Colchester with a back-to-back draws now, picking up a draw against Stanley and Bromley. The bookies for this one, Morecambe are 2-1 for the victory, 13-5 is the draw, 6-5 is your Colchester. I think I'm swinging for Morecambe here. God, no, I'm going for another point to the bag. Draw kings all around. I think Colchester will be happy, but Morecambe's first point of the ball, but still no goals for them. All right, let's head over to Grimsby now as they take on Barrow over at Blundell Park. Grimsby under David Artell with Stephen Clements' Barrow are locking horns for the 15th time. The previous 14, though, since 2010, ended up as 8 wins for Grimsby, 2 for Barrow, and 4 draws, of course. Grimsby in 16th for the table, 6 points for the campaign, just 1 win in 4. Barrow, though, sitting in 3rd, 58% form for them right now, but back-to-back games without a win. 14 matches. The most recent match between these two sides at Grimsby was back in October 2023. Grimsby were victorious, and in fact Grimsby have got a nice record against Barrow at this very venue, winning 4 on the spin against Barrow. Barrow, though, are on the back of a 1-1 draw against Swindon most recently. Grimsby on the back of that 2-1 loss to Chesterfield. The bookies, well, I don't know, 7-4 is your Grimsby, 27-20 your Barrow, 13-5 is the draw. I'm going with Barrow, of course. I think the thing they're cooking right now, big weeks ahead. I think they've got Carabao Cup action also around the corner with Chelsea, if my memory serves me rightly. So, big win for them on the road. Next up, we go to Vale Park as Port Vale entertain Chesterfield, which will be a cracker. Darren Moore's Port Vale gets Paul Cook's Chesterfield. Now they have played 28 times since 2002. 10 wins for Port Vale, 14 with Chesterfield. 4 draws as well. Vale, back-to-back wins for them, 58% form. They're sitting in 12th in the table with 7 points for the season. Chesterfield just 1 defeat all campaign, or at least 1 defeat in the last 6. 9th in the table, 8 points for the season. The most recent match between these two sides at Vale Park was a 2-1 win for Port Vale back in March 2018. That was in League 2. And Vale on the back of that 4-1 win over Newport County. Chesterfield also singing with a 2-1 win over Grimsby. So it's a tight old game, this one. It could be probably the game of the round here. 13-8 is your Port Vale, 5-2 is your draw, 6-4 is your away win. 2-1 win. I'm going for Chesterfield. Port Vale are good. I've shown a bit of resolve there, bit of punch back. And will cause Chesterfield problems, but Chesterfield are forced to be reckoned with in this league, this campaign. So I'm backing them to get the results, and massive 3 points it will be. Head on over to Salford now, shall we, as they take on Cheltenham. Of course, both sides could do with a bit of a few more points to climb the table. With Salford down into 19th, just 5 points for the season under Carl Robinson. Michael Flynn's Cheltenham have had a bit of a response, sitting in 15th with 6 points for the campaign. Back-to-back wins for them heading into this one. Salford just one defeat out of the last 4, but a couple of draws in between all that mess. They have played 4 times since 2019, 3 for Cheltenham, nothing for Salford, 1 draw between the two sides. Most recently at this very venue was back in December 2020 in League 2, and it was a 0-0 draw. Salford on the back of that 1-0 win over MK Dons back on the 2nd of September. Cheltenham also on the back of that 1-0 win over Harrogate Town. Of course, bookies are favouring Salford here. We've got odds of 6-5 for the victory, 21-10 is your Cheltenham, 5-2 is the draw. We are also going with Salford, a 2-0 win for them, big win. And up the table they go. And then finally, folks, we're over to the Bescot as Walsall take on Bradford City. This is going to be a bit of a classic as well. Of course, 6th place Walsall, 5th place Bradford. Matt Sadler up against Graham Alexandra in the dugouts. Now they have played 31 times since 2001. 6 wins, just 6 wins for Walsall. 12 wins for Bradford. There's been 13 draws between the two sides. But Walsall on 67% form for them right now, winning 4 of the last 6 against the Bradford side. Just 2 wins out of the last 6, 42% form for them at the moment. They've got 10 points for the season compared to Walsall's 9, and the last time they played at this very venue was a 5-goal thriller going in favour of Bradford City back in April 2024. Bradford on the back of that 2-1 win over Carlisle. Walsall did lose to MK Dons most recently with the last win in the league against Cheltenham. The bookies will find this one difficult. 7-5 your Walsall, slight favoured. Bradford 9-5. The draw is at 12-5. It is quite tight. I think I'm leaning towards, I don't know, I can't remember. A 3-1 win. Big win on the table for Walsall to climb the table. That's my results for picks. Be sure to get your own picks in as well using the link for the Super Brew predictions sort of stuff. And of course, we'll be back for match number 6 next time around. Or match number 7. We'll be back for match number 7 in due course. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, guys and girls, we are done.